Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and the Across the Timeways expansion has been out for a few days now and data has started to come in. We've already done our best deck recommendations, which is a lot of old stuff, but there are plenty of new cards in there, and I thought we would go through the epics and legendaries, since rares and commons are pretty easy to come by and cheap to craft, and go over the cards that look pretty darn safe to craft so far, ones that have potential, and ones that you should absolutely stay away from. And we're gonna keep it to this expansion. No, I'm not gonna say go craft Quest Warlock, although that's probably a good idea, although it might get nerfed sooner than later. We'll talk about nerf predictions pretty soon, but anyways, we'll go through all of that. And as always, if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below, give the video a like as it helps the channel out a lot. So starting off with Death Knight, they actually got a couple of pretty darn good legendaries, and I'm gonna be looking at HS replay stats to try and correlate a lot of this stuff, but the epics you can pass on. Chrono Chiller, I thought maybe in an aggressive deck, a 4-mana 8/7, but it just doesn't really have a home right now. It's not seeing a ton of play, and the little bit of play it's seeing, it's not doing very well at all. Losing that card draw in stats, it's just so hard to matter. Even a 4-mana 8/7 with a minimal downside, it really matters, and this is just not a playable card. The rune requirement is pretty harsh, and just getting a bunch of random undeads. Even in Arena, I've gotten this, it's been good, but it's not like game-breakingly good like a Scourge could be. It's just not that great, so I would not bother on the epics. You can honestly disenchant this one pretty safely if you've opened it. But for legendaries, Husk is seeing a good amount of play. It's not in like the most competitive list out there, but it's not the worst card. Getting that death rattle, giving yourself 20 corpses possibly to be resurrected by, come back with that elf. It's a way to counter a fob if that's ever meta besides just Dirty Rat or whatever, but still just not bad. The numbers on it are pretty decent. But again, it's not the most popular card out there, but certainly one I don't think you'll feel bad about crafting, especially in Wild. It's pretty cool to counter a lot of the OTKs. I've already seen like highlights of Uther OTKs and that being countered. So Husk, I think it's pretty safe to craft. And Talanji, the fabled card that gives you What Befell Zandalar and Bonsomdi, really solid card. It's in one of the tier 1, tier 2 decks right now in Heron Death Knight. It's just really good to get the rush, the lifesteal, bring it back, and I think it's a pretty safe craft right now. I was not super high on this card before it came out, but I've been proven wrong. It's really good, and if you happen to find the signature, also really good. So 2 legendaries, I think for Death Knight, you can reasonably craft. For Demon Hunter, the epics are not doing particularly well. Timeway Warden, if you want to be like Mark and Meme and try and get your opponent's board full of dormant minions, you can go for it, but it's definitely not competitive, not one that I would go out of my way to crafting. And right now, there's not really a deck for Doomsday Prepper. There's a positive deck win rate on the deck it's in, but it's so limited, and I can't recommend crafting this card. I think it'll become a meta thing at some point, because just becoming immune can be really good. Plus, this is like, there's a potential to like abuse it with like bouncing and the Zai card or whatever. There's always a chance, but again, would not go out of my way to crafting it. The Eternal Hold, I really like the no minion Demon Hunter. It's not super competitive at the moment, and this card is not particularly great in it right now. But if the deck ever becomes meta, it is certainly one, like if you have it right now, I wouldn't disenchant this. I would hold on to it, because I feel like with like a major balance patch, which I would think we're gonna get one, but regardless, after rotation maybe, I could absolutely see this seeing play. It's not bad, allows you to cheat a bunch of mana. It's just the deck isn't thriving right now. And kind of the same goes for Broxigar. Like Broxigar, not particularly amazing, but again, really not far off the fabled card where you do all the portals and you get the 12/12 charge. It's not quite there, but it's one that, yeah, in the future I might want to have. And again, it's really fun. Like you could play it and go around like 45-50% win rate regardless. So if you're on the fence, you really like it, I don't think you'll regret it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to crafting it. It's one of those that in the future I think it could get a lot better. So Demon Hunter, like epic and legendary wise, not particularly amazing, but not a particularly egregious or anything like that. For Druid, Druid's a weird one. Druid's not really thriving right now, and I will say the epics in particular, like alternate reality, unless you want to meme with this or whatever, just disenchant it. This will never be a viable card. You don't want to craft it. Certainly not a card you need to hold on to. Highborn Mentor, if this whole Chrono deck works out, it's a really good card in that deck, but the Chrono deck isn't quite there. So this is more of like, keep an eye on it. If you've opened it, maybe hold on to it, but don't go out of your way to crafting it. And right now, Chrono, the card that sets the bottom 5 cards of your deck to 1, really close. And I feel like a balance patch could put it over the top. It can create a ton of mana cheat. It just is a little bit too slow in the current meta to really get there. But again, this is one that if you've opened, I would definitely recommend on holding on to it for now. And again, I wouldn't go out of my way to crafting it, but is one that absolutely could take off. Same goes for Lady Ajara. Even in Alonia's Druid, people aren't really playing it at the moment, but it's another card that has pretty good numbers, has things you can do that are pretty crazy with it. They're just all a little bit too slow right now, but another card, if you have it, hold on to it, but don't go out of your way to crafting it. And I actually didn't notice that they have the arrow in here for the actual locations being improved. That's kind of cool. But yeah, Druid, basically you can pass right now, but 3 of the 4 cards I think could very well see play in the future, just not quite yet. For Hunter, they have one of the most must-craft cards of the entire expansion. Ranger General Sylvanas is incredible in Discover Hunter, Aggro Hunter. She's just awesome. She's a great card. The best part is Sylvanas getting that AoE. In a Discover Hunter, you could get a bunch of her. And if you played like Illyria and Barisa, you could keep clearing the board, pushing damage, or just a Face Hunter, it pushes damage. And Illyria could be a nice hand buff. If you want to play Hunter, this is an absolute must-craft. Phenomenal card. Absolutely amazing. King Malik, not so much. The Infinite Banana doesn't really go too far right now. The numbers on the card are actually good for deck win rate because people play him in Face Hunter, but his played win rate is unbelievably bad. I'm looking at like a 48% deck win rate overall, 30% played win rate on Malik. He is not good, as I kind of figured. It's just, what are you doing with the banana? It's just not quite good enough, so I would say pass on Malik. I'm surprised anyone's even tried this card past Silvermoon. It seemed horrible early on when I saw it, and it's not good. Don't craft it. If you have it, you can freely disenchant this card. I mean, you might get a buff to some of these cards and you might regret it there, but overall, yeah, I don't see the past Silvermoon seeing play. And Precise Shot, purely if you like playing Face Hunter. It's a good Face Hunter card. Doesn't really go into much else, but it goes pretty well into that deck, and dealing 5 damage for 2 mana can be really good. So yeah, if you like Smorkant, playing some Face Hunter, Precise Shot, absolutely worth the craft. Other than that, it's pretty narrow in its use, but Sylvanas, by far the most must-craft card so far. Mage, you can pass, like legit. I don't even really need to talk too much about it. Every Mage Legendary, every Mage Epic are not good right now. Toki, unless they rework the card, is never going to be good, but it was never, I don't think, meant to be good. It's just a fun, flavorful card, which is fine to me. But yeah, to get the value and replay it and win, good luck with that. Enigma, giving secrets to your opponent, not good. Getting a secret yourself is okay, but just not a great card. This card's just awful. Like, it's so bad. I can't even imagine how this will ever be good, especially when Dongar is there at 10. But even then, it's just stats for 7 mana that synergizes with 0 things in Mage right now. It's brutal. And Cindergosa is an amazing, cool card, but that deck feels like it's just missing things. Like this card itself, getting Malagos and O-Stone, it just feels like it's missing stuff right now. I can't recommend crafting it. If you have it, you could probably hold on to it because maybe it works out. The potential is very high with the card. It's just not super competitive. And if you paid for the rewards track, well, you're going to get this as this signature at level 100. So you can get around crafting it by just having the paid rewards track. So that is an option. But yeah, Mage, really rough this set so far. Paladin, past Nomergan or whatever, Nomergon, not really that great. Not seeing a ton of play. Would be okay in like an aggro deck, but overall, there's just better stuff to do in Paladin. I cannot recommend crafting the card, and I don't see a ton of potential with it, so it's probably just a hard pass. Mend the Timeline, again, not really much going on. It's a bit of healing, but you're just getting random spells, and sure, you can rewind, but there's better ways to heal. There's better things to do in Paladin that, again, I would not craft this whatsoever, and I don't really see any potential with the card. Finley, not really seeing much play. People were like mad at me for thinking this card wasn't gonna be that great. It's just free value. It's like Secret Passage, but the stats aren't on it so far. Really not good. It's kind of just a dead card sitting there a lot of the time, and it doesn't have real synergies out there, right? Other than getting you some more cards. I would not craft it, and I would not go out of my way to even like hold on to it. There's not a ton of potential that I see with this card. It's just not particularly great. I don't really see it right now. However, Gelbin, phenomenal card. When you play this card, you just win games. It is so insane cheating out these auras. And even in a meta where like the old stuff is dominating, Aura Paladin is a competitive like tier 2, tier 3 deck. It's good, and it's only going to get better if other stuff gets scaled back. Phenomenal card. If you like to play Paladin at all, Gelbin of Tomorrow is a very easy craft, and I really like the signature. It's really nice, and even I like playing it, and I'm not much on Paladin, I will say. So yeah, at least Gelbin is really solid. For Priest, none of this stuff is really working. Divine Augur, I don't see this card ever being good. The played win rate on it's okay, but the decks it's in, like the whole like health buff, like where you're just focusing on that, really far behind, and I don't see it catching up. I see Control Priest being valid in the future, but Divine Augur does not fill that role at all, so that's a hard pass. This card is unbelievable garbage, terrible, not good. Don't craft it. If you have it, you could probably disenchant it unless you think it might get buffed and be good in the future, but other than that, really not good. Eternus, just stealing one minion when you have to have like a real condition behind this, not good enough in today's game. If it could just steal a minion, it'd be insane, right? We've seen that before, but the fact it really needs to strictly be in that health buff deck, and that's not even close to working out yet. I would not craft Eternus. And Medivh, it's struggling. Medivh, I gave like a 5. I still believe this is an incredible, awesome card. It's just Control Priest is missing so much. You don't have mid-game AoEs really outside of like the shuffle card repackage to get you to a card like Medivh, and it's not reliable to cheat out. So as a result, at 10, it is a bit too slow. When it gets online, it just wins. Its played win rate is insane. It's a great card when you can play it. It's just really hard to play it. But if you want to play Priest, I still recommend it. I still do. It's such a great card that it will see play consistently at some point. And again, it's not far off. It's the decks it's in aren't great. The card itself, I believe, is really, really good. Like if you look, I'll just show the stats I'm looking at. Medivh in the decks it's in, like they have 40% overall deck win rate. When you play Medivh, it's 63%, and the drawn win rate on the card, 48%. Those are great indicators that a card is good, but being held down by just not having enough support around it. So again, I'll still recommend Medivh. I think it's great. Why do I not have Medivh Golden? By the way, I gotta fix that. Okay, that is fixed. I apologize for that. Hopefully I have corrected a very wrong thing there. For Rogue, well, let's just say this card's bad. You don't want to play Shapeshifter. It was kind of funny to play in the early access brawl, but it sucked there too. These type of cards are never good, and this one is not good. It's not good. The hand information is not worth it. I do not recommend it at all. Same with Royal Informant, both epics, easy passes. This one's got more validity. You get some information. You can do some mana disruption. You can get a copy of a card. It's pretty cool, but it's not competitive, and I can't recommend crafting it for that reason, but you never know. You never know. Maybe it pops up in the future, but I definitely wouldn't go out of my way to holding on to it either. I have no idea what you're supposed to do with Hooktail. Like legit, you get that chest and the coins, but I don't know what you're supposed to do with this card. I really don't. I'm looking at the stats. It's green across the board, but it's in 0.2% of decks. So it's like seeing no play and somebody high rolled with it. But overall, yeah, I can't recommend crafting Hooktail at all right now. There could be potential for it in the future. You never know with coins, but as it stands, yeah, hard pass. Garona, really solid card, seeing a ton of play, especially the weapon rogue. It's like a win condition itself. You just buff the Kingslayers, draw your legendaries, you tutor like Fire Rack, Garona itself, and your opponent probably gets lane at some point. It's really good. And then there's other decks that can utilize it. So Garona, absolutely safe craft. And if you could get this signature, oh my God, it's so nice. I love it. I love it. And yeah, Garona, definitely pretty safe craft. Pretty good card. Love the Fables. I really love the Fables cards. Speaking of some safe cards to craft, Shaman. Again, Nature Shaman's like right on the bubble right now. It's right on the bubble where I feel like if anything else gets toned down, it's going to be really good. Like every time I play Nature Shaman, I only lose really hard to like the Quest Warlocks and the decks that have been dominating for a while. And if they finally nerf something, this deck could really pop off. But safe to say, instant multiverse, no reason ever to craft this card. It's not good. It's just, even in Arena, I haven't seen this. It's just not a great card. Just getting 12 mana worth of random minions isn't amazing. And you overload for 3. It's brutal. So pretty safe pass. However, if you're like me and you like the Nature Shaman archetype, Stormrook, I think it's worth a craft. It's definitely the most fringe of these cards, in my opinion, where a lot of lists have already cut it because it is a bit expensive, but I just really like the card and I like the archetype. I wouldn't recommend crafting it unless you really like the archetype, but you can climb with it. I feel like it's legend capable. It's just not super competitive. So Stormrook, I could recommend, but very, very lightly. Farseer, whoa, is just a pretty sweet card. I think it's pretty good. But again, its numbers are not amazing. Again, it's quite on the bubble, but it's a card that, I don't know. I think it's really cool, really fun to play. Can't steal games, and sometimes it's a dud. But overall, I don't think you would regret crafting it if you like that, you know, Nature Shaman, the Spell Shaman style of archetype, and I think it'll only get better. Especially a lot of these cards after rotation are going to be so much better when we have a significantly lower power level, at least the way it's looking. And of course, Muradin, despite the fact, again, Shaman not like thriving, this card is so unbelievably good with the avatar form, the High King's Hammer, drawing it, putting it into Muradin no matter where it is. The flavor on the card is phenomenal. It's a win condition in itself. It's a really strong card. Shaman's just not really popping off right now, but even with that, the numbers on the card are great. And it's like in almost every single Shaman deck. Like this is going to be an auto-include in basically any Shaman deck going forward. So if you're playing Shaman, it's definitely a card you want. You definitely want it, and it is quite good. So definitely, to me, 100% must craft. For Warlock, if you're playing Wild, Bygone Doomspeaker is pretty gross in that format. Other than that, in Standard, the disruption's not worth a ton. You don't have discard synergies. I would pass on it. But again, if you're a Wild player and you like playing discard Warlock, really good addition to that deck. So I will say that. Divergence is seeing some kind of weird combo play. It has seen some things working, in particular with like Incendious and things like that. It's fringe, but it's a cool, unique card that I can't say no to crafting, but if you're looking at like a safe, competitive crafting style of card, I wouldn't do it quite yet. Nothing has really gone crazy with it, but if you look at the numbers, they're not bad. They're not bad. So it's something you can keep in mind if you're on the fence about it. Chronager is like pretty good in the aggro deck, right? It's not bad. You draw cards, deal damage. The Shreds deck is doing pretty well. This card is in some of them and does pretty solid. It's not a bad card, and I could see it being utilized in other means down the road to tutor your own high cost cards, and maybe you don't care about giving your opponent the lowest cost stuff or you're milling them. It's got some diversity, some flexibility for what it can do now and in the future that, yeah, I think you can craft this card for sure, in my opinion. And Time Thief Rafam, competitively, not there, not even close, but it's a must craft. If you enjoy Hearthstone, to me, Rafam is a must craft. It is such a cool card. You get the 40 card deck, and if you play all the Rafams, you win the game. I do think it's hilarious when I look at this card specifically and its played win rate. It's only 83%. Meaning people have been playing it after they get ratted for tempo, which I have done myself, which is pretty sad. But yeah, the deck overall is like 40%, 40-ish, but it's still super fun and you can win games. It's not like unplayable like Imbue Priest was for a long time. I know it's not competitive, and if you're looking at purely from a competitive perspective, I guess don't craft it, but other than that, Rafam, I don't care. He's a must craft to me. I love the freaking card. For Warrior, they got a lot of good cards, but not particularly the epics and legendaries, although we'll talk about one. So Gladiatorial Combat, not really seeing any play. You summon a 5/5 for your opponent, cheat a minion out of your deck. I could see this enabling a scam. I already seen Thaddeus decks and Wild utilizing it. It's a card that if you have it, I'd probably hold on to it for a rainy day, unless you have real need for dust, because you just never know with it. But definitely no deck or any reason to craft it right now. Definitely one to keep in the back of your mind. Hair of Hereafter, not really seeing a ton of play, and where it is in Rage Warrior isn't the worst, but this card's just too expensive and requires setup, right? Like there needs to be damaged minions, and it's really hard to set that up while playing it. Like you can't just play this on curve almost always, so that makes it quite difficult. And again, a card I would not recommend. Chronolord Epoch is, again, man, I wish it was destroy all the minions that your opponent summoned, because play it is just brutal, especially when a Quest Warlock is so much of the meta. They just summon minions. They barely, the things they play, you don't care. So it just isn't super effective. I wouldn't go out of my way to crafting this. I could see it seeing play at some point. It's not irredeemable, but right now I'm not seeing it. And the last one, which, I don't have a golden. I'm disgruntled here. Let's get this crafted golden. Logosh Blood Fighter, where you have Valera and you have Brawl. There's an enraged list that hit rank 1 that's semi-competitive. Clark's gonna have a video on it in the next day or two. I don't know if I'll have one soon. I'm gonna do a DK video, I believe, tomorrow. But it's got potential. This is not that bad. The decks it's in are competitive, and the stats across the board for this card are good. It's actually not that bad, and I feel like, especially if there's a significant balance patch soon, this card will see play, because it's just super sticky, super annoying, and if you're playing an enraged list that like curves into this really well, can be really good. So I will actually recommend crafting Logosh if you want to play tempo in Rage Warrior, and it's only going to get better, I believe, over the next like month or two or after rotation. I think it is okay to craft. And for the neutrals, my god, the neutrals are so bad, it's insane. I don't know if I can recommend a single one. Timeless Casualty, not seeing any play. Even in the Druid deck, you don't really want to play it. It's too slow for there. Circa Diamancer, not a very good card. Nothing you really want it for. Again, I wouldn't go out of my way to crafting it. And this Dormu, seeing like absolutely no play. It's too slow. Plus you have to play new expansion cards, which are not phenomenal for a lot of them. So again, doesn't quite work out. Futuristic Forefather, not really seeing play, not reliable enough. Another card you could easily pass on. Chromie is terrible. It's super slow just to draw some cards. You get the diamond on the paid track, but yeah, I would not go out of my way to crafting it or anything like that. The best neutral is Dios, which is free, so you don't have to worry about that. It would absolutely 100% be must craft, but it's free. You don't have to worry about that. So you can thank Blizzard for like the only neutral card that's any good is free. Conflux Crasher, not very good. I believe we get it, or actually I think it's on the paid track, the golden. Regardless, not worth it at all. Not a very good card. Amber Warden, not good at all. Seeing zero play. Wild minions suck. And yes, I did say you could get Rattlegore. I've played this a lot, and the best thing I've gotten is like a 3/4 or a 4/4. The best thing my opponent's gotten so far is a Sludge Belcher. It's not playable. Mr. Clocksworth is free, so you don't have to worry about him. Plus he sucks. And lastly, Murazond. If you like playing Zarimi Priest or want to have fun with Quest Warrior, yeah, absolutely worth the craft. Infinite damage, especially when you can take an extra turn, is pretty solid, but very niche, very narrow. And even in Quest Warrior, you really don't need it at all. It's just kind of there for more funsies, if anything, and activating your release. Whereas in Zarimi Priest, yeah, you definitely want it there. But overall, it's a lot more niche, but I can recommend it on that level. And yeah, there you go. Quite a few cards to craft, honestly, but mostly at class cards. And to me, that's a good thing, because I've been so sick of neutrals dictating everything, which has been a pattern for so long. So you can pass on a lot of the neutrals at the moment. Let me know what you think is worth or not worth the craft in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.